I hope you will now indulge me to address some of the unveiling things around me. At 9:30 last night, I opened an email from the Labour Party and learned that I was subject to an administrative suspension based on complaints of anti-Semitism relating to retweets that I made 2 and 3 years ago. I haven't had the opportunity to answer these charges, but they've suspended me in any case. Of course, some local party members have chosen to leak these matters to the press. They have then campaigned on the basis of my presumed guilt. For the record, I am not anti-Semitic. I am horrified that I might even be considered so to be. Equally, I am as aware as our party leader of the risks of unconscious bias and the dangers of perpetuating negative tropes. Had I been asked about this, as a male shadow cabinet member was earlier this week, and about a tweet not 2 or 3 years old, but as recent as last Saturday, I could have apologised for my historic misjudgment. Maybe it's because I'm a woman. Possibly it's because I'm a strong woman. Or maybe other factors have been at play, which are about the approach I've tried to bring to the running of the council. When I became leader just over a year ago, I made a number of promises to the people of Sandwell and the staff of our council. Among them was the promise that I would act with integrity, that I would use my leadership to model the courage and transparency that we need as a Labour group and as a council. I said that as public servants, we answer to the people of this borough, and they should expect that we will, at all times, conduct ourselves with the utmost integrity, and that we will uphold the highest standards in public life. I also commented, I'm sure you will remember, that we had in the recent past fallen well short in this regard. Since then, I have worked as hard as I can to deliver on that promise. I have led this council's conduct and that of its members and officers, using proper procedures and processes, upholding the Nolan principles in public life, guided by core values and principles of decency, honesty, and integrity. Under my leadership, we have ensured the proper separation of member and officer roles. We have ensured clarity in the responsibilities of the political executive and scrutiny. I have opened the council up to external challenge, looking to learn from the best that we can of what is happening elsewhere. I have worked hard to enhance the council's reputation with government, with neighbour councils, and with the local government sector more broadly. We are actually doing well, and we must continue in that same vein. Quite rightly, where there has been evidence of possible wrongdoing, we have investigated. This has applied to officers and to members. Those investigations have proceeded according to due process. Confidentiality has been respected, and those investigations need to continue through due process to a conclusion through the appropriate council and political processes. No one under my leadership has been paid to leave. Nothing has been covered up. I have always insisted that we do the right thing. Through this process, some elected members have been asked to account for their previous conduct where it appears to have fallen short of expected standards in public life. To name names or allegations, as due process needs to conclude, but people should be in no doubt at all. The people of this borough should be in no doubt at all that some of those findings are truly shocking, including cover-ups, misuse of public funds, reports being leaked, use of private emails to hide communications, lies being told to courts, clear racism. We did have in this council a culture of deceit and cover-up, sly lies, snide comments, destructive dripping of poison into the public domain, misinformation and prejudice. In some cases, this has absolutely destroyed people's lives and their livelihoods. And I will mention the RAG report, something that some people prefer to think is over, is done, is dusted. Well, believe me, it is not. It remains a stain on this council's reputation. It is riven with and surrounded by racism and racist intent, with Black Lives Matters shining a light on the casual way that our public institutions enshrine racism. It actually breaks my heart that we have presided over such a racist endeavour. It also represents a flagrant misuse of public funds to pursue political objectives. You must ensure that it is not allowed to be buried again. So people should ask themselves, why has the leader of Sandwell Council been forced out? Why has someone gone to the trouble to troll her Twitter account, searching on the basis of possible pejorative terms? Why have they gone back 2 years to find only retweets of other people's work, not even original statements? Is this really about anti-Semitism? Or is it about a cover-up of some disturbing truths that are shortly to come into the public domain? Is it more about powerful self-interest seeking to avoid proper scrutiny? Proper accountability for those who have fallen disgracefully short of expected standards in public life? And who is behind these complaints, you should question. Is it the white, male, old guard who were at the heart of this shocking behaviour in the past? Who did leak these allegations to the press and deliberately whip up a campaign to remove me from office? What was the role of the local MP in all of this? And ask yourselves, how far does the collusion and malign intent reach up into the Labour Party hierarchy? I predict that these same people, using the full weight of the party machine, will now try to seize power in Sandwell by contriving reasons to suspend others in the current executive I was told of my own suspension more than 4 weeks ago. People knew I was going to be suspended. They will then try to bury all the misconduct allegations. They will bully others by holding the threat of suspension over them. The echoes of 4 years ago, when I was told by somebody the reason they were doing something was because they weren't going to find themselves suspended, shocked me to my core, is still operating today. Those people absolutely should be held to account for their actions. People of this borough should demand that they are held to account. Responsible journalists should be ensuring that these matters are brought out into the light of day. I won't be here when this is done. I am resigning my position as leader, but the questions and the choices will remain for the Labour Party, for the Sandwell Labour Group, and for the people of this fine borough. Right now, the choice is pretty stark. There is a group of old white men who want to go back to the vile baiting, the poisonous leaking, the denigration of fellow elected members for political purposes, the misuse of public funds for political retribution, numerous officers handed out of employment because they would not follow the political line or because they fell out of favour with the leadership. Millions of pounds, and I do mean millions of pounds, of public funds have been spent with little regard to the public purse. A return to white male old guard who will pay lip service to equality and Black Lives Mattering, but who will seek ultimately to preserve their own power base for its own sake. Or the council can embrace a new future where its elected representatives are humble in their service to the public, where they absolutely respect that they serve only in the interests of the people of Sandwell, where one gives real meaning to the fight against prejudice and inequality, and where you have transparency, honesty, integrity in all of your dealings. People of this borough absolutely deserve the best council led by the best councillors driven by the right values. This self-serving political malignancy and this interference in local leadership by outside party interests serves only to undermine confidence in this council's ability to serve its people well. It undermines the institution of local government itself. But that future is for others. I won't be here to lead you. I've got things to do. I've got places to go and people to see. But the questions genuinely really need to be answered long after my leadership is over. My place will be taken in the interim by the statutory deputy, Maria Crompton. She will step into the space. I want to thank the staff of this council, the finest that there are, working incredibly hard and bringing good Black Country humour to often their incredibly difficult jobs. Invidious to mention any groups I know, but I would mention our fantastic neighbourhood office staff, incredibly supportive to me over the years, whether as a backbench councillor, as a suspended group member, and I hope now as a suspended Labour leader. I would also like to pay particular tribute to the Cabinet Secretaries. In perhaps the vilest of many vile political deeds, they were marched unceremoniously off the premises and suspended under the previous regime. A harder working and more loyal group of staff you won't find anywhere. Thank you, Jane, and your wonderful team. If I've achieved nothing else, I hope I've helped to make you all feel valued and indispensable as the workers that you are. This authority needs people like you. And finally, to the people of Sandwell, it has been my pride and my pleasure to serve you in the various guises that I've been in this area for the best part of 20 years. And remember, ultimately, none of us work for the council. My chief executive, David Stevens, doesn't work for the council. We all work for the people of Sandwell. It's your council, it's not our council. You deserve the best council led by the best councillors, driven by the right values. There's political corruption that has been operating in Sandwell for too long. That's what it serves to undermine confidence in this council. If I've been able to bring some of those public service values to bear in my work here, then hopefully, I have made a difference. I think my cabinet has made a difference. I'm enormously proud of the strong team that we built at the top table, working together positively, not listening to gossip, not dripping poison, following proper process with the right values. I wanted to leave you with a lovely letter that I had this week while this maelstrom was around me. Because this is why I came into public office, and this is why I try to make a difference. And it is from a constituent that I do not know. And he says, "Hello again, Councillor Davies. I just felt the need to give a personal thank you to you. I have only contacted you on a few occasions, but each time you've been so extremely prompt and efficient with the matter raised. And even if the outcome is not that desired, your response has always given assurance that one is not wasting their time in going to the trouble to bring matters to the attention of the council, especially when it may be of benefit to others. Again, I sincerely thank you, and please, there is no need for a reply." I think that resident epitomises what I have tried to achieve in all my work in life, whether it's as an officer in the voluntary sector or as a councillor. I am very, very happy to have that letter as my epitaph. Thank you to Sandwell and you all. Be brave. Carry on with our work. Do not fail in your pursuit of truth and justice. Build a council that we can be proud of. And I shall watch your progress with a huge amount of pride in my heart. Thank you. The meeting is closed. Thank you.